or just trying to catch, trying to adjust. And that's why the importance of having a someone to supervise and watch over you. Vietnamese look trần. You when you go to battle, you need to have someone look trần, right? You know what I mean? You understand what I mean, right? So what's look trần mean in English? I don't know how to explain the English for these guys, because only I know the concept in Vietnamese because it's a powerful concept. And no. See, when you engage into a fight, there's someone who's better than you, who's watching over your progress, like the coach.
Coach, mentor?
It's more than a mentor, because this guy here actually are watching over you and watching after your interests, so that you don't get into trouble, and guide you. So it's a mentor thing, but also it's more involved than a mentor.
It's more than an advisor. It's kind of really...
He's fighting with you as well. But he's not. He happens not to be in the ring. What's the Chinese for that?
Is your cornerman?
Huh?
The cornerman? Like in boxing? The guy doesn't fight, but he's like your cornerman.
No, the coach. The coach is that,
user will be considered your your teacher.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's your master.
That's the good knowing advisor concept behind it is that very thing. We don't explain it because then you guys become so arrogant. You're in trouble, call, that kind of thing. But this is a secret in Mahayana. Mahayana is not cultivating by yourself. It's cultivated under someone. This is what the Chinese understand. Vietnamese don't understand that. This is why the Chinese Dharma is superior to Vietnamese for that reason. Far superior for that reason. You see, you think you can read books and try to understand and research it? You're not getting very far. Whereas someone said, hey, to give you a nudge or point you to where the problem is, that's how you can progress a lot quicker. So it's all in the mindset. The Chinese mindset, which, for example, Plato doesn't have because she's too westernized, is that... The Chinese like the Danny's, for example, he's not here. Oh, good. The Danny's example, their tradition is they're always looking for a teacher, but he's been doing it wrong. Okay? He's here. Okay. We can stop talking about his. See, the Western people, they don't understand it yet. The Westerners say, hey, I'm as good as you are. Maybe I'm better than you are. I'm going to show you, I'm better. And that's the wrong kind of mindset. Because you're reinventing the wheel constantly. Remember the Sutra explanation? The Sutra definition is what? It's permanent. What does it tell you? What is the clue right there? It doesn't change. You come back in a 10,000 more kalpas and learn the Buddha Dharma, it's exactly the same thing again.
As it was.
In the past, in the future, as it's right now. Why do you insist on reinventing the wheel?
It's already here.
It's there already. You know it already. It's built in you already. I'm only uncovering it for you.
If you cannot find a master or a teacher,
tough luck. Tough luck. You'll be confused. You'll be going like this. Constantly. Where you have someone who shows you the way, you go straight. Minimize your waste. And this is what the Chinese tradition has. Okay? They don't know what it is. They don't know about the straight line and the oscillations. But they all somehow understand you have to draw near a good no advisor. Because traditionally, they think that in their young generation, in your generation right now, it's like you draw near them, you make an offering, and you get big multiplier magnitude, you want to get, million back, that kind of thing. So that's the Chinese understanding right now. Okay. They keep on going and finding new teachers. And that's the good spirit with like the young man I referred to earlier. What he's been doing wrong is that if you do that, there's a flip side to it. The good Lord and Vibe look at you and say, this guy's not serious. So what? They back off. He's not committed. He's not serious about cultivation. Okay. And therefore, you still waste time. So it boils down to granting blessings. If you get blessings, you just like my case. I listen to Master YongHua's teaching, and all of a sudden I say, "This is it. This is for me." It just rings true. Okay. Anyway, let's get going. Are we? Let's do a Dharma request. Om Jing Da Da San Di Wei Shi Ba Wei Ji Xie Zhong Chen Xing Zhuan Miao Fa Jiao Dao Wo Men 如何要生多势力功德，无上无上。南无萨兰多世界多耶，阿拉格利萨弥奥三不多耶。南无萨。南无萨埵多世界多耶，阿拉伯利萨面三不多耶。南无萨埵多世界多耶，阿拉伯利三颂。南无萨埵多世界多耶，阿拉伯利萨面三不多耶。萨埵多世界多耶。无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, restore Bodhisattva, Great Master YongHua, all Guru advisors, Amitofo. We are at the beginning of chapter 1. That talks about, the title here is Spiritual Penetrations in the Palace of the Triyastrimsha Heaven. Few things about this heaven here. We go into more detail about the heavens later as part of the sutra. But Triyastrimsha Dao Li Tian is also the heaven of 33 and the central heaven, and then there's 8 heavens on 4 sides. The king here is the god king there is called Chakra or Indra, Dayton, or the Lishu. And he's the Christian god. He resides in the city of Good View, that's made of the 7 jewels. It's really exquisitely adorned. And he enjoys tremendous heavenly bliss. Chakra is very special because he's very hospitable to the humans, to mankind. he's very well liked by the humans because he likes them. He likes to teach them. He likes to help them. He likes to draw them in and into become his flock, and therefore the chakra is very, very powerful in the human realm. Okay, that shows up in the fact that there are over 1 billion Christians and that kind of thing nowadays. Before, you ought to know that this Christian God here, before in a prior lifetime, she was a poor lady, and she ran into a worn down temple and saw that the Buddha statues were exposed to the rain and the sun, and she brought forth the resolve to fix the temple, restore it to its prior splendor. And with a group of friends totaling 32, with 32 more friends and relatives, mostly women, they managed to pull it off. And for their collective efforts, each of them was reborn as a god king for the 33 heavens. And she being the king of the kings and in the central heaven. Okay, that's the nature of the retribution for this particular God. Okay, the difference between this God and the others is that he's Buddhist. He got into trouble, and that's why I know some of you like Catholics or Christians may be a little bit shocked about this because you think you have exclusive rights to the secrets of the universe. But actually, you look at the Christian or the Catholic teaching, it's so suspiciously close to the Buddhist teaching. Think about it. They have the 10 Commandments. It's basically an elaboration of the 5 precepts. Think about it. The 5 precepts cover all the 10 Commandments. Much more detail. 10 Commandments, part of it is for to control the crowds. But, so, this guy became Buddhist because he got into trouble and the Buddha helped him. That's why he became a believer. And it turns out when you get when I explain more on let's say the Flower of Dharma Sutra, the fact of the matter is that many Buddhist bodhisattvas and arhats would go to this heaven to help him out because he's a real good guy. This God is a good God. He's a good guy. He's on our side. Okay, so we go to help him out. I'll give you an example. It may be shocking to you too, you Catholics and Christians, is that, for example, the last Pope, John Paul II, actually is second ground bodhisattva.
John Paul II.
The late Pope, the last Pope.
He's what Bodhisattva? Which Bodhisattva?
Second ground bodhisattva.
Second ground.
This is documented in the Avatamsaka Sutra, where, for example, the first ground bodhisattva would become a god king in the 4 heavenly kings heaven. That's the first heaven. And then the second heaven, which is the Shaka god, and the Catholic god here, the second ground bodhisattva would go there to increase the blessing, to plant the blessings. Okay? So, the bodhisattvas and arhats are all over the world. They don't only come here or the Western Bliss Pyramid. They go everywhere to help living beings. If you have brought forth a mind to do something good, they come and help you without you knowing it. That's why they're bodhisattvas. They go and they bow to you, kiss up to you. So you're the greatest. Oh my Lord. And so on. But part of that is the planted blessings. Okay? Heaven means natural. Natural, these heavens manifest naturally as a result of their karmic blessings. your karmic contributions. You do good, like this Christian God here. Their Dharma, if you follow their Dharma, there's certain, we'll go into that later. We explain actually which part of their Dharma enables them to be born there. Will be documented later. I explain that later. Basically, their Dharma is to do good. And therefore, when you do good, you create blessings, heavenly blessings. And these heavens then naturally manifest for you to go there to enjoy your blessings. Make sense? It's all in the realm of cause and effect. You do good, eventually you accrue those heavenly blessings, and eventually you get to enjoy them. Okay? In terms of spiritual penetrations, the Chinese I Ching, the Book of Change, notes that yin and yang not measured is called spiritual. Spiritual is beyond yin and yang. So far, so good? Can't see it. That's why it's called spiritual. Still and not moving, respond and accord with, is to penetrate. Okay? There are 6 kinds of spiritual penetration. 6 general kinds. Okay? You have the first one, heavenly eye, heavenly ear, penetration of other spots, knowledge of past lives, spiritual fulfillment, meaning that also known as you wish. And number 6 is extinction of outflows. Got that? Heavenly eye, meaning you can see in the heavens, can see down into the lower realms. You can see the yi. Okay? Heavenly ear, you can hear what's going on in the heavenly realm. For example, in the heavens, the music there is superb. So a lot of our music comes from them. Is it really a copycat? Okay? Penetration of others' thoughts. You can read people's minds. Scary thought. What goes on in your mind, if people know about it, they say, oh, yuck. Knowledge of past lives. Someone asked me about that. I said, knowledge of past lives. Whatever you do is recorded into your 8th consciousness. Every single action you make is recorded. So don't think you're the only one who knows. If it's there, it's in the hard drive, anyone can access it. Okay? So don't think you're so superior, you're so pure, you're so perfect. Okay? Because you know all about your imperfections. Don't think you can outsmart people. You just don't say anything. Okay? Any problems with that? And number 6 is, number 5, spiritual fulfillment. It's as you wish. The Bodhisattvas, they want to make an offering to the Buddhas. Okay? They want an offering of something most exquisite, the most expensive. They think about it, it appears in their palm of hands. And they offer it to the Buddhas. So they don't have to carry it around. Okay? That's as you wish. Some of you have a form as you wish spiritual penetration already. I'm not going to point it out to you. Okay? But you have it. You too have it. It's a wide range. In terms of spiritual penetrations, it's a wide range. For example, heavenly eye. You can see from different ranges, depending on your kung fu level. So that's why when we train you, okay, we don't stress on spiritual penetrations because people get caught up in that. It's never an end result in Mahayana, ever. Okay, because people get attached to those things and they get stuck. Any problems? So how do you get spiritual penetration? Because you want to ask me that anyway. I know, you asking and you really are not really after spiritual penetration, right? basically, the reason that our spiritual penetrations are not stable is because our sense organs are not purified yet. When they clear, you got it. When they become impure, you lose it. I told you about the story of the Indian immortal, the rishi, who cultivated in the mountains for kalpas, for years and years and thousands of years. As a result, he can ride on the cloud and fly. Okay, and he would go to the palace upon the king's invitation to receive offering, because the king was very impressed with his spiritual penetration. So he would go to the king's palace regularly, like once a month. Once the king was busy, and therefore he left instructions for his 16-year-old princess, his 16-year-old daughter, to host the visiting rishi, the visiting immortal. And you know, when you're a princess, this princess happened to be really, really beautiful. And being in India, her skin is white, not dark. So even more attractive. And she would wait at the palace, and the immortal would then fly over and then descend from the clouds to enter the palace. She was there waiting, and as soon as she saw him, she bowed to him and opened her hand. Okay, this is like we do. That's from the Indian tradition. And the rishi would step into her hands as a gesture to say, I accept your respects. I accept your offering. So he would step barefooted into her hands, in the palm of her hands. And this lady, remember, this guy here has been cultivating in the boonies, in the mountains, in the wilderness for a long, long time. It's been a while since he saw such an exquisitely looking lady, white and beautiful, and her skin, when he stepped into her hand, is so soft. And guess what happened? He has this spark of sexual desire arising in his mind. So what happened? His 6 sense organs became impure. Then impure all these thousands of years. Or that one instant when he touched her, he couldn't help himself. He lost all his spiritual penetrations. See? That's what happens when you go for spiritual penetration. We Mahayana, right, client? We don't shoot for spiritual penetration because we know that until we end our sexual desire, it ain't gonna be around very long. So far, so good. See, we don't waste our time. What? Wondering about what?
Whether it was on.
The recording.
Ah, okay.
You're live.
Any question? So, in this particular chapter here, the Buddha has, of course, many sorts of spiritual penetrations, and in this particular chapter, he uses them to emit countless rays of light and sounds and so on. Okay? Chapter 1. Thus I have heard, at one time the Buddha dwelt in a Traya Strimsha heaven, speaking Dharma for his mother. At that time, an indescribable number of Buddhas, as well as great Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, from limitless worlds in the 10 directions, all assembled together to praise Shakyamuni Buddha's ability to manifest the power of indescribably great wisdom and spiritual penetrations in the evil world of the 5 turbidities, as well as his ability to regulate and subdue obstinate living beings so that they might come to know the dharmas of suffering and bliss. Each of these sent his attendants to greet the world-honored one. Okay. Probably a bit longer if I were to translate it again. Probably change it so that it's the shorter sentences, because my attention span is pretty short. I can't.
It's shorter in the book.
Is it shorter?
Mm.
Okay. Maybe I should take the book.
You want the book?
No. It's all right. Too late now.
Okay.
I'm committed.
Okay.
To my mistakes.
Okay.
Okay. Thus have heard. All Buddhist sutras begin with this. This is what the Buddha decided. This is to contrast the Buddhist sutras versus the existing at the time in India, the externalist sutras, which begin with either or o. Meaning existence, no, non-existence, and o meaning existence. Because at the time, the externalists believe that either is nothing or there's everything. Existence and non-existence, emptiness or existence. Okay? So they say it's either or. And the Buddha says, nah, you guys are wrong. And that's why he started, he said, all my sutras will begin with thus I have heard. Another reason for it is to resolve the Dharma assembly doubts. What happened is that Venerable Ananda, after assembling the sutras, he would get on the Dharma seat and speak Dharma or recite the sutras to the assembly. And Ananda looks almost like a Buddha, very handsome. It has all the hallmarks, the 32 hallmarks of the great man. And therefore, when the assembly saw Ananda sitting in the Dharma seat, they have doubts. Like, maybe Shakyamuni Buddha have a resurrection. Okay. Maybe he came back to life. Or some of them thought that another Buddha came to speak Dharma, or Ananda maybe became a Buddha. So, those that have heard basically says, I, Ananda, have heard this from the Buddha's mouth. So this is not my Dharma. This is not another Buddha's Dharma. This is Shakyamuni Buddha's Dharma. Okay? And that's how to end all the debates and the doubts of the ascent. Okay? So far so good. This sutra here, then, so let's have heard is to put a stamp of approval. This is a Buddhist sutra spoken by by the Buddha. Okay? And then the next thing that when you listen to sutras is that you have to see the 6 realizations. tiêu chủ成就, lục, tú, thành tựu. The first one is faith. Okay? 信, okay? Meaning thus. Thus denotes that this is the Dharma of Mahayana, the Dharma of stillness, the Dharma of emptiness. And for you to be able to understand this Dharma, you have to bring forth a mind of faith. Okay? Because only through faith can you enter the Dharma. Think about our own myopia, our own pettiness. We only see the world and justify the world as we understand, based on our understanding, based on our ability to understand. And there's so much more that we can perceive and we can understand, right? Okay? So that's why we go to school, we go to college, you go to universities, because we want to expand that understanding that the Buddha needs. It turns out that Mahayana is even broader than that. Okay? And the only way for you to enter it is through faith. You have to believe that. And then through that faith, you cross your legs and you will understand. You will see it for this. That's where faith comes in. Okay? There is also, I have heard, meaning there's a hearer. Someone heard this sutra. Okay? There's a time where at one time is indefinite, meaning that it's not finite. It is at the time that the conditions mature, and therefore the principles then become obvious. Okay, because until the conditions mature, at that time, if you speak the Dharma, before the conditions mature, they can hear it, but they cannot understand. Okay, so the timing is very important. There is the host, the Dharma host. He is the Buddha as a place. Triastimsha heaven is the place where this assembly occurred. Audience, you need the people who commit the act of hearing. Okay, the audience here is his mother and the bhikshus who accompany the Buddha. Typically, the Buddha speaks Dharma in the human realm. He rarely would go to the heavens to speak Dharma at all. The first time he spoke Dharma in the heaven is when he spoke the 10 dwellings in the Avatamsaka Sutra. And the second time is when he spoke this Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra for his mother. Because he was about to enter Nirvana, and he realizes that he'd been teaching the rest of the world, but he hasn't taught his mother yet, so he decided that he would bring his pupils to the heavens, where Lady Maya, his mother, who passed away 7 days after the birth, after she gave birth to the Buddha. After 7 days, she passed away. So he went to the heaven, the Dali, the Triastimsha, the heaven of the 33, to speak Dharma with his mother, and stayed there for 3 months during the summer retreat. This is the nature of the conditions for the Buddha to speak this Dharma. All right. So with these 6 realizations, this is to certify that the Buddha was truly spoken by the Buddha. This is truly Mahayana. This is truly a Buddhist sutra. Let me elaborate a little bit more on the at one time. At the time he wishes to speak on the concept of filial piety, filiality. At the time when he wishes to correct the wrong views of living beings, okay, especially externalists who dharmas lack the past, the present, and the future. Their dharma is only in one lifetime. The time of planting seeds. This is a good time if the Buddha feels that he should speak Dharma so that the living beings can have the chance to plant blessings that they can use in the future. At the time of a true teacher, I think we touched on that earlier when I was gabbing before we started the lecture. A true teacher refers to the proper teacher, the proper teaching, the proper studies. Okay, that's what a true teacher represents and bring with you. So the way it works is that one starts with the earnest desire to learn. You don't have that desire, no one's going to teach you. Okay, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas are not in business of forcing themselves on you. You have to request the teaching. That's why we do a Dharma request before we explain Dharma. Okay. Once you have that earnest, you prove you have the earnest desire to study and cultivate, then you need to find a good knowing advisor to increase your chances of success. This is where the Chinese understand how to study and cultivate, where the Vietnamese fail to understand. Okay, and that's why, comparatively speaking, the number of people who are accomplished is more Chinese and Vietnamese. there's still Vietnamese people who are accomplished. Okay. But that's because of very special circumstances. The Chinese have the Dharma where they go and seek good known advisors. Even the Dharma, as I referred to earlier, is even losing its meaning right now because they don't know how to seek a good known advisor anymore. They only seek it to plan the blessings, not to study and cultivate. And once they see a good known advisor, they don't know how to approach his or convince that good known advisor that they for real. Like, anyway, so, and finally at one time is when it's appropriate, when it's appropriate to speak Dharma as well, when the people want to listen to it. Okay? An indescribable number of Buddhas as well as great Bodhisattvas, the Mahasattvas, from limitless worlds in the 10 directions. Okay? The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are basically the proper retribution. You get your body, you born, you cultivate, you become a Bodhisattva. Mahasattva is called the proper retribution, or Chân Bao. From limitless world of 10 direction, meaning that's the dependent retribution. That's where you live. That's where your body resides. Okay? Yi Bao. And the indescribable number of Buddhas. Okay, the thing here about the Buddhas is that all Buddhas are one of the one and the same substance. They manifest as Shakyamuni Buddha, or Amitabha Buddha, or Medicine Master Buddha. Okay, those are manifestations of the Buddha, but the Dharma body is one and the same. Okay, the Buddha has 3 bodies. The Dharma bodies, when we refer to the Buddha having the same substance, refer to the fact that they all share the same Dharma body. What is the Dharma body? It's everything. It's the only way for them to have the same. Which is, what's everything? True emptiness. Does it make sense? Even all these concepts really interconnect for that reason. Worlds. There are 2 kinds. World refers to intersection of time and space, right? And the 2 kinds of worlds, sensing worlds, meaning living beings, which is the proper retribution, insensing world, meaning the dependent retribution, or the mountains, the rivers, and so what you have. Okay. Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakya, which is the last name, means capable of humaneness. Okay. Refers to the fact that he wants to cross all living beings. Muni means still and silent. Okay. Meaning, this refers to his samadhi power. He's still and unmoving, and yet he can respond to all living beings. We Buddhists, okay, take Shakyamuni Buddha as our teacher. I'm not the teacher, by the way. I'm only certified. We all share the same teacher, which is Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay, that's very important for you to make that distinction. Okay, Buddha is Sanskrit for enlightened one. Okay, enlightenment has 3 kinds. First of all, there's something called inherent enlightenment. What is inherent enlightenment? It says根本, căn bộ. The inherent enlightenment refers to the fact that we living beings are endowed with the Buddha nature. We are replete with the Buddha nature, meaning that we have everything already. We are of the same substance as a Buddha. Okay? And then initial enlightenment refers to the fact that even though we inherently are endowed with all the Buddha nature, but that Buddha nature is covered up Therefore, we're confused. So inherent enlightenment really means we're confused. It's the flip side of that definition. Inherent meaning, yes, he has a Buddha nature, but I'm sorry, but you happen to be confused right now because you can't see it, you can't access it. Okay? You inherently have it already. You just don't know how to use it. This is very important distinction, folks, because what it means is that cultivation is what? It's uncovering. It's nothing new. Got that, Ken? See, if you feel that you have to invent the wheel, then you're on the wrong track. Because you have it already. All you have to do is figure out a way to uncover what you have. See, the world is thinking is that I want to invent a wheel and invent something new and make a fortune and contribute to the world. No. The world is already confused. All you have to do is stop the confusion. That's it. Because underneath the confusion, we have everything already. That's why we need to understand about inherent enlightenment. And then, initial enlightenment refers to the time, even though you're confused, you encounter the Buddha Dharma, and then you say, wow, there's something in there for me. I kind of like it. Okay? So you begin to cultivate, and you begin to understand the principles. That's called initial enlightenment. Okay? You begin to see the light. You begin to uncover, and whatever you uncover is pretty significant. It's called initial enlightenment. And ultimately, when you uncover everything, you become Buddha. You're back to square one. That's what enlightenment is about. Questions? And upon enlightenment, Shakyamuni Buddha himself says, strange indeed, strange indeed, strange indeed. All living beings have thus come to once and knowledge and view, and kept from actualizing it only because of their attachments and false thinking. Questions? The text refers to the 5 turbidities. What is turbid? Turbid is defined in the Buddhist sutras, namely the Sutra Sutra, as you take clear water and you throw mud into it. When mud dissolves in the water becomes turbid. That's what turbidity is about. Supposedly, the water is clear. You add impurities into it, you make it turbid. That's our nature. And the turbidities have 5 kinds. Kalpa turbidity, kalpa refers to time. View turbidity refers to your views. Affliction turbidity refers to your emotion, your afflictions. Living being turbidity refers to the fact you have an existence as a man or woman or an animal. Okay, that's called living being. And life turbidity meaning that it has a lifespan. Any questions about turbidities? Would you like to know more, or shall we skip it?
The view, welcome the view.
I'm glad you asked. Thank you. View turbidity. I skipped it right now. Actually, I started out as kalpa turbidity, but I let me jump to the 5th first and go back to first, because the first depends on the other 4. View turbidity refers to the fact that your views are improper. Your views are turbid. The way you look at things is inaccurate. What you think no, is not.
Figures.
Okay? Why is that? Because of the existence of the 5 quick servants. Quick servants are, number 1, body view. Number 2, extreme view. Number 3, view grasping views. View grasping at views. Number 4, precept grasping views. Number 5, deviant views. because of these types of views that makes your views turbid. Okay? What is it? Body view. You believe that there's something called a body. Your body, that you bathe, you shower, you feed, you clothe, you pamper. You take it for real. Is it too much for right after lunch? You can't take it, I skip it, okay? I'm not attached to giving you everything all at once. I come back to this. Is it too much, Ken?
No.
Of course not. I can take it. So, we have this false belief that there's a body here that is us. We are our body. Okay? You're in trouble right away. Okay? Right off the bat. Forget it. You're wrong. Okay? I'm not explaining to you right now, but just eventually, in time, you understand it's wrong. Okay? Number 2, extreme views. Meaning that either the extreme views back then in India is that they either annihilation or permanence. You're a dog forever, and you're man forever. You never change. Or annihilation is that like a lot of these smart modern day people, that especially the executives, they said, after you die, you return to dust anyway. So it doesn't matter. Go ahead and enjoy life. It doesn't matter. Okay? They don't believe in reincarnation. They don't believe in things like that, like silly things like cause and effect, reincarnation. So it's called annihilation. When you die, you disappear. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and enjoy life. Go ahead and create offenses. Go ahead and steal and rob. Because as long as you can get away with it, everyone else is doing it. Why not? The Wall Street people are doing it. They've been doing it for several years now. Many of them have retired rich, filthy rich. So why not? Why not you? Why not me? Huh? Seize it while you still can. View grasping at views refers to the fact that they take the mistake, the effect for something is not effect for an effect. What is this? What is it exactly? The fact of the matter is that they think that like the unlearned bhikshu, you hear that a lot. This is a very common reference in Mahayana circles. The unlearned bhikshu who was certified to fourth dhyana, and he thought of himself. He reached fourth dhyana, like some of you, and thought of himself as having reached the fourth stage aham, meaning he has ended birth and death. So by the time that he dies, he saw his consciousness leaving his body, and he rises to the thought, wait a minute, I still have a death. Therefore, the Buddha lied to me, because the arhats still have birth and death. He's only a fourth dhyana god, and he thought he's a fourth stage arhat. Therefore, he slandered the Buddha Dharma and said, you lied to me. Okay. And that's what this refers to, view grasping at views. What he thought himself fourth dhyana as fourth stage arhat. Okay. That's a wrong retribution. Okay. He mistook for himself. Too arrogant. Precept grasping views. It refers to the fact that back then the people who opened the heavenly eyes, I talked about that earlier, and they saw a dog die and then be reborn in heavens. And that smart aleck, that guy thought, wow, then after the dogs die, they're reborn in the heavens. Maybe all we have to do is observe the precepts of the dogs, and then we can be reborn in the heavens. So they sleep like a dog, they eat like a dog, meaning everything the dogs like, they like. And that's what this represents, precept grasping views. So they observe all these extreme precepts, thinking that they are ultimate, they bring them ultimate liberation. Okay? It's wrong views. Number 5, deviant views. Deviant views is basically, what's a deviant view? Anyone? What's deviant? I referred to proper Dharma this morning. What is deviant? Deviant is just the opposite of proper. What is it?
Improv.
Deviant in Mahayana is defined as not believing in cause and effect. These folks are in big trouble. Not only do they not believe in deviant views, they go around tell people that no such a thing as cause and effect. It doesn't matter. Go for it. Cheat, steal, lie, con people. As long as you don't know what harm is there. As long as you get away with it, why not? So it's no cause and effect. It's okay to create offenses because it doesn't matter. That's deviant views. Okay? So, mutability takes the 5 quick servants, the 5 views here as substance, as its basic substance, and mistaking wisdom as mark. And they think it's pretty smart. Okay? We call it servants of Shu, because they create offenses, and if you create offenses, you will have to pay for it. You have to undergo retribution. Retribution here is you are subject to birth and death. You come back and pay for it. You evolve, you keep on coming back and pay for it until you pay off before you free of the debts. That's what retribution is about. Okay? And because of these incorrect viewpoints, incorrect knowledge and views, they've taken the genuine doctrine to extremes. They are so far off target. It is so pitiful. Affliction turbidity takes the 5 dull servants as basic substance. Basically, the 5 dull servants. We're going to keep on going over this because it's many multi-layered. Okay. First of all, the first servant is greed. Secondly, hatred, stupidity, arrogance, and doubt. Okay. Greed refers to the fact that we don't have enough. We don't feel that we have enough. No matter how much you have, it's still not enough. You need more money. You need more love. You need more attention. You need more clothes. You need more cars. You need a bigger house. Never happy. Never satisfied. Hatred, the anger that rises in you. Okay. You cannot be patient. The thing here is that people don't realize that the one thought of hatred opens the door to the 80,000 obstructions. You indulge in hatred and anger, you're obstructing yourself. Think about your own fear. You get what you want when you're angry? Somehow. But not what you think you want. Stupidity. Stupidity refers to the fact that not many kind of stupidity. Simply here, define it as you cannot understand and analyze. You cannot understand that all dharmas are impermanent, ultimately empty. You attach to things, can't let go. Arrogance. You think you're superior towards living being. You cannot be humble. Cannot understand that all living beings are intrinsically the same, have the same Buddha nature. And yet, you learn something, you got something, you feel so superior. Okay? The fifth one is doubt. When you encounter something good, something proper, the right principles, you just can't bring yourself to believe it. Why? Because it would destroy your world. You simply cannot believe that there's something else beyond your realm. Just like this brings to mind the mindset of the scientific people. They think they know everything. They think they must be able to put a finger on an explanation before they can believe it. They tend to doubt anything else that they don't understand. Funny that there's one person that comes to mind right away. He calls himself a scientist. These are basically thought illusions. These thoughts are misleading you, and the nature of this stability is that you are irritated, you are afflicted. Okay, living being stability. You become a living being. You're born because of three conditions: your mother, father, and your own karma. That's what creates living being. And because of the nature of this stability, the manifestation of this stability is that you constantly are revolving the wheel. Okay? You born and die, continually. You go through the cycles. Being born, creating offenses, dying, and coming back to undergo the retributions. Unceasingly, it doesn't stop. Since beginning of this time, we've been revolving in the wheel, and we'll continue to do so until you find a way to escape from it. Okay? Living beings are the culmination of the five kinds of things, the five skandhas. Skandhas is Sanskrit for heaps, piling up. Okay, all these five skandhas are what gives us the false belief, the false substance of living beings. They are form, feeling, thought, formation, and consciousness. This is what defines you as a human. You think of yourself as a person, a human, because of a form, skandha. You touch yourself, there's a body. Form has a connotation of solidity and impediment. It obstructs the light. It obstructs. Okay? Therefore, it must be real. It must be there. Form is your first level of confusion. Too much? Feeling. Feeling refers to the fact that you were able, through your sense organs, to receive data from the outside. Therefore, the outside must be real. Therefore, you must be real just as well. Right? And because of feeling, this funny thing happens. Immediately, because of your receptions, you reject. And you only reject the unpleasant, and only take the pleasant ones. You become attached to pleasant things. This is so unpleasant. Take it away from me. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about it. Sweep it under the rug for me. Okay? Thought. As soon as data comes in, you grasp them. That's what gives rise to thoughts. If you do not grasp at things that come through your sense organs, you give no rise to thoughts. You buy that? Easier said than done. That's why we need to cross our legs. Formation has a connotation of flowing. What flowing? Thought after thought, unceasingly. Once one thought arises, it keeps on flowing like the waves on the beach. It never stops. This is what makes us up, okay, folks? Think about it, okay? Our mind is constantly thinking of one thing after another. And number 5, consciousness has the connotation of sustaining this, of storing as well. The sustaining of life, because the 8th consciousness contains the 3 elements of life, meaning breath, warmth, and awareness, consciousness. Okay? This is the 5th one that defines life. Any questions? Yes.
This is 200th anniversary of the theory of evolution. I watched a program the other day concerning creationism and evolution. How is the Buddhist view of these 5 standards unite to form living beings with all living beings? Side with evolution theory.
How long has the evolution theory been around?
200 years.
200 years. How long does it cover? How far back does it go?
It's just a theory from observation, but now...
What is the domain? And what's the time frame? Billions of years? How far does it go back?
I think 1.5 billions.
5 billions, okay. Do I hear 6?
Eternity.
Eternity. That's the Mahayana. This theory here is very tiny subset of the picture. That's how I look at it. It's not necessarily incorrect. I'm saying only pointing out to you that its domain where this theory is valid is only a limited time frame. Okay? This is as smart as a human genius can be. Still very limited time frame. In the Buddha's wisdom, it's beginningless time. We go back infinite. Can you see that far? No human will ever dare think about it. Okay? Buddhas can see it. So that's my quick and dirty answer to your question about I'm only dwelling on the domain of validity. You're a math person, so I'm sticking to the domain thing. That's why I answer it that way. Mathematics theorem is that you need to define, before you have a theorem, you need to define the domain of validity, right? Okay? These scientists, their domain is too limited, too small. Does that answer your question? Okay? What are you still unhappy about?
I'm trying to define, the biologist's domain is the living being on Earth.
Yeah.
Similar to what's on Earth, they could define in the genes.
Okay.
And the genes, and they could relate how things are related in the tree of life. In Buddhism, it talks about more than Earth. Am I correct?
Yes.
Other lands, other existence.
Yeah, that's why I only gave you one angle of where you did the for the comparison, but this is infinite. If we talk about space, we talk about time. First of all, time, the domain time is too limited. Space, okay. The scientists only see the Milky Way. They have no way of measuring outside our galaxy. And in Mahayana, there are an indescribable number of Buddhas and worlds.
So is that the kind of the buildability? And the view of the scientists, because it's very, very small, they only see what they can see.
Yeah, it's a subset of the 5 turbidities. The 5 turbidities even broader than that. Okay? So, another aspect of it is that the delineation of living beings. The Darwinian theory is that, survival of the fittest, the Darwinian flush, so that the weak get weeded out, or the evolution, or is it evolution also the Darwinian theory as well?
Evolution.
So you evolve from an ape to the human realm. In Mahayana, that's still too limited. It's possible, yes. If you spend enough years, yes, you go from 04, you go up to walking with your 2 feet. But in Mahayana, that's too slow. It's one means of evolution. Mahayana, we talk about in terms of coming to being. You can come into being by birth. You can come into being by transformation, like the gods. You're born in the heavens by transformation. That's it. You need to wait. Or you can be born by moisture. Okay? So in Mahayana, there's so many more forms of ways of explaining why beings come into beings, living beings coming into being. And the evolution theory is simply just too limited. It's childish. You ask me. As a mathematician, my first reaction is, what is domain theory? If your domain is too small, I refuse to fool around with you. Does it make sense to you? I'm not going to limit myself. If the world, if you only give me a small subset of the world, of the reality, then I don't want to hear it. Because you're leaving out so much of the truth. Okay? The important thing about the 5 skandhas is this. Because of the nature of the 5 skandhas here, they cover up our true nature. You can't see our true nature. This is what I want you to take away from this. We, even though we are inherently have everything, have the Buddha nature, but we can't see it because of these 5 skandhas. For example, the winning theory is the thought skandha, isn't it? Isn't it? That's it. You find a small domain, bracelet. This is my world. This is the truth. This is the universe. Thought skandha. One of the 5. In the nature of your confusion. See why I call it childish theory? You see, that theory is such a small thing compared to the thought skandha itself. The thought skandha is so vast, so infinite, that one theory is only one among this mess that defines. So far so good? Okay, that must have answered your question. No?
I'll concentrate on it more.
Okay. Consulate. Any questions? So that brings you back to the last turbidity, the kalpa turbidity. Okay. Oh, this is light turbidity as well. I forgot. I apologize. Light turbidity, because you take on an existence. Okay. When we're born. Okay. Life begins. Consciousness arises and life begins. Okay. And so the reception of warmth is in nature, the basic substance of the life turbidity, and the decline and extinction of life as a mark. You're born, you must die. You will deteriorate and die. Okay? And it turns out in a life turbidity, actually fairly well, precisely defined. that is the lifespan will not exceed 100 years. That's our current era. Okay. And as far as kalpa-stability goes, okay, the kalpa refers to time. Okay. The time concept. And the time concept is only dependent on the other four kinds of confusions. Okay. And the other four turbidities keep on multiplying, and therefore giving rise to the notion of time. Change. Time is change. Okay. And it turns out that the manifestation of the kalpa-stability is that of an unceasing flame. Once you start a fire, it has to burn itself out. You cannot stop. You cannot stop it. And the five turbidities happen to be in a decreasing kalpa in a scheme of things. You go, the life span increases up to 84,000 years, and then it decreases. Okay, from 10 to 84, and then goes down to 10, then goes up to 84. It keeps on increasing and decreasing. And it turns out that when the lifespan reaches 20,000 years, that's when in the decreasing kalpa, that's when you have the kalpa turbidity. Was it good? Okay. Speaking of turbidities, still intention, Bodhisattva asked Shakyamuni Buddha why he chose a world of five turbidities to become a Buddha. Why didn't he go to Pureland to become a Buddha? And Shakyamuni Buddha said, it's really out of compassion that I chose to go into a impure world to become a Buddha. When you go to a Western bliss Pureland, what happens? There is no three evil paths. There's no hells, no animals, no hungry ghosts. Okay? No suffering. Right? Therefore, when you cultivate in Western bliss Pureland, what happens? There's no ghost to bother you. None whatsoever. No demon. You can shave your head, no one comes and bother you when you're sleeping. The night before you shave your head. Okay? Because there's no demon. That's why people want to go to Western bliss Pureland, because cultivation is so much easier. Right? Then why aren't all the Buddha lands Pure Lands? Why not? Please help me explain that.
Different colors. Different colors.
Let's say, Rabia, let's say you encounter Dharma enables you to become a Buddha. Okay? And as a Buddha, you have a choice. When you become a Buddha, you have your own Buddha land. You have a Buddha land that is either pure, like a Pure Land, or impure, or defiled, like the Sahara world. What would you choose?
I think the Sahara was more challenging.
Okay, never mind. Next. You're not cooperating.
Go to the Pure Land, lady.
Thank you. There you go. See, assuming you go to Pure Land, because that's a smart choice. Yeah. Because it's more pleasant, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't you like to be the boss of the gem of the gems, right? The best of the best.
Why not?
Wouldn't you?
But if you are already a Buddha, who cares for more gem? You already seen all the gem. It's the ones down there below that you want more fun.
But my dear, you're not a Buddha yet. That's where you come
told me I was already a Buddha, so I would have
Okay. Okay. Be it as it may. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, let me try something else.
I'm going to give you a hard time today, Esther.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, the point is this. The reason that you want, the reason that you need both. You want both. For this reason. Why would you don't want all Pure Land because it would be too boring, according to her. Right? You don't want all the fire because it's just too hard, too challenging. Because sometimes it's just too challenging for you. Don't you think? Sometimes, it didn't ever happen to you? You say, cultivation, I forget it, it's just too much for me. Maybe next lifetime. Ever happened to you? Anyone?
Yes.
Am I the only one in this whole room here? God, you guys are so dishonest. I can't believe it.
We are something here.
Okay, so I see 3 people, including myself. And these 3 people are honest among ourselves. You guys are the superior, right?
Inferior, that's right.
So, the point is that it's so hard sometimes. It's just too much, right? That's why you wish you go to Pureland and have all these compassion, these ghosts and these demons, right? That's why there are 3 kinds of Buddha land. Pure Buddha, Pure Land, or impure land. Or defiled Buddha land. Okay? Why is that? Actually, there are only one kind. Pure land. All Buddha lands are all pure. I've been following your legs.
Oh, gosh. You're good at that.
Okay? Why is that? See, the idea is, see, I knew this guy's always up to something. I know I can't trust this guy. Why is that? This Sara world is also pure. It's only because out of compassion the Buddha uses spiritual powers to manifest it as impure. Yes. Why is that? He's a sadist.
He's a sounds like it.
This picture tickles RJ Pink. Why is that? Let me tell you. Let me give you my interpretation of this. Okay? Because when I realize that there's so much suffering in the cultivation so hard, the legs hurt too much. Okay? It's so much more than you can take, your body can take. You say, the heck with this. Let me go to Pureland. Okay? Where I go there, I go there and cultivate. One lifetime, I become a Buddha. No more problems. Right? Cool. You want to go to Pureland because you go there, your chances of success are guaranteed, number 1. So far, so good. Number 2 is what? You go there and you become enlightened first. You get rid of your confusion before you can help others. Got that? Right now, if as long you are confused, you try to help others, chances are that you are confusing them with your confusion.
I believe that.
You think you're healthy? Just like when I was younger, I was taught, oh, I like to help others. I like to help the world. But guess what? When you are confused, how can you help? You're only spreading into the confusion. So smart people, cultivators, they say, okay, I know I'm confused right now. Let me get rid of my confusion first before I try to help you. I try to help. This is why you go to Pureland. You say, I don't know about right now, because since I scanned the horizons, I created the Buddhas, I created Bodhisattvas. No one stepping forward to help me out, to teach me. So what do? Let me recite the Buddha's name. At least I have something to hang on to, something to hang my head on when I die. At least I know I go to the Pure Land, right? This is why the Pure Land is such a superior Dharma. It is an insurance policy for you, just in case something goes wrong. It will be more in Pure Land. If something goes wrong this lifetime here, at least next lifetime, You have nothing to worry about. Your success is guaranteed. Your confusion will be removed. Okay? This is why.
How we go there? I want to know how we go there.
That's why you practice Pureland. That's why you practice Pureland. This is why the last 4 years I've been teaching time, because I've been delaying the undelayable. Because eventually, all of you have to ask yourself, what are my chances of being enlightened this lifetime? Yeah, right. So what can you do? Buy the insurance policy. Make sure you get the Pureland as just in case. Right? This is why the Pureland has so many adherents in Asia. This is where the Westerners are so, Dharma is so inferior compared to Asian Dharma, if you ask me. The Westerners go for this lifetime. They go for the show, even like the Japanese. You know Japanese, are you? Okay. I'm going to attack the Japanese today. The Japanese are the least impressive Asians I can think of. They are so stuck on themselves. Why? The whole culture goes for this lifetime. They go for technology, they go for all those things, they're so far away from Mahayana. Think of the feudal times when they go around and take a samurai sword and chop you in half and you displease them. That's all it takes. What does it sound like to you? Stupidity. You're creating offenses. You're killing karma. One of the worst kind of karma that you can create. Guess what? Now they come back and now they're still killing each other now in Japan.
It's an honor to do stuff.
Life is so stressful. It's murderous in Japan because there's so much stress. You go to the corporate Japan, it's the big fish eating small fish. Okay? Okay, I hope that we will erase this part of Japan because then I lose all my Japanese sponsors and advertisers. Okay, never mind. Okay, so let me take it back, all the Japanese stuff. Okay, my point to you is that the Chinese culture is far superior in the sense that they still have all these hooks in the culture. They're still exporting Pureland everywhere in the world. That to me is superior thinking. They export to Vietnam, they export to Korea, they export to Japan, they export everywhere else, even here in this country. We're teaching you Pureland, are we not? This is, to me, the best way to help people. Because look around you. There are less than a dozen of you here today in the proper Dharma place. What happened to the rest of the world?
You're at the movies.
At the movies, at the beach, at the ice cream parlor.
Skiing.
Why is that? The only way to help them is to feel that, folks. Okay? Only one. You buy that? I'm not referring to anyone very foreign to you. I'm referring to your own family members. I'm referring to your mother, your father, your spouses, your children. You really want to help them? Create conditions for them to be reborn and feel that. That's the best way to help. You give them money to buy a BMW or Ferrari. It's only once. If you give them those kind of blessings, it's there forever until you use it. You buy that? This is why Pureland is far superior as a Dharma. This is my personal bias. This is what I feel that the Chinese culture is far superior for that reason. And guess what? Because this is Dharma any age, even the Chinese don't even believe in it. Now the Chinese in mainland China are turning to the West and Kentucky Fried Chicken, Google and all those things as superior things to pursue, losing touch with their own treasure trove. Okay, let me go back to the reason why you want to be born in Pureland. So again, number one is that no more uncertainty. If you get to be born in Pureland, you become a Buddha. You have no more suffering. Okay, number two is that you go to Pureland, you cultivate. Okay, it enables you to acquire wisdom, to get rid of your confusion. Then you come back to the impure land that comes. And that's the good news, folks. This land here has so many bodhisattvas who came from the Western Bliss Pure Land to help us. Can you name one? I name one for you. Would you like to hear that person's name?
Venerable.
Huh?
Venerable. Hashanhu.
So, that's right. Got that? She butchers my master's name a little bit.
I try all the time. I can't say.
Yeah, YongHua. Very good. You become wiser now. I'm impressed. Getting that.
Everyone's alive.
Huh?
About the mom's alive.
You have to pay for that. Okay. So if you become enlightened, you become wise, you have some kung fu, some skills, some real wisdom. That's when you come back here to help. Okay. That's why you want both kinds of worlds. The Pure Land, where you go there to acquire wisdom, you be safe. There's no mistake possible. Okay. And then once you have some wisdom, you go back and take care of your prior commitment. Because some of you may have said to your spouse, honey, I will love you forever. I will take care of you. Wherever you go, I go there and I will save you. I will help you. Anyone? Anyone? Huh?
Sure, right.
I feel so lonely today. Even on Valentine's Day.
That's why you feel so lonely. Yes.
Even on Valentine's Day? What you guys are such chickens. Take a chance, guys. That's what happens actually. Because what happens is that you make these commitments. In a prior lifetime, you say, honey, I'm in love with you. Okay? And I will always take care of you. And one day, you keep on, you keep making those types of promises. You're coming back, and you get married, you fight, and you yell at each other, and then you become so miserable. One day you encounter a good moral advisor and say, there's a better way to do this. See, I know you have blessings to become enlightened. I know you have not enough blessings to practice chant right now. How about going to Pure Land for a change? Huh? You go there, and you don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to suffer anymore. And you become enlightened. You come back and then you help her. Then you help him. That's much better. Okay? So, that's what happens to a lot of these bodhisattvas. They come back because some of them may have said to the disciples, you bow to me. I know right now I'm nothing yet, but in the future when I have some skills, I will sure come back and teach you until you become enlightened. And that guy, that woman, maybe wise enlightenment say, okay, let me go to Pure Land first. Let me become enlightened first, so that I can teach them to be enlightened. And then they go to Pure Land, they become enlightened, they become higher bodhisattva, they come back and they teach us. That's what happened to Master YongHua. Yes. Isn't that cool? Isn't that good news to me on Valentine's Day? Yes? Question. What? This is a lady who says, I'm not going to speak anymore. But now she can't hold your tongue. Never mind. I'm kidding. Yes. What's the question?
Is that the same as crossing them over when you come back to help them?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Crossing them over is really to help them become enlightened. Ultimately, helping could be temporary, but helping in the Bodhisattva's mind, at least according to the standard set by my teacher, is that he wants us become enlightened as quickly as possible. And it turns out that some of us have been more enlightened already. We just forgot. That's why you need a good known advisor who says, I am with you. Okay. Okay. Questions?
What's the reason behind this forgetfulness?
In my forgetfulness?
Anyway,
Or your forgetfulness?
I mean, from lifetime to lifetime that you forget what you did the previous
Good
time.
question. I thought I skipped it, but she caught me. She wouldn't let go. She told me. God, speaking of attachments, someone still had to work on that.
Lady, you're not alone.
Yeah, good. But she's the outspoken one. The reason being that part of it is because of the nature of birth and death. When you're born, you're confused. That's why you need to go through the process of cultivation again. Just like the Buddha, when he was born, he was confused. Well, sort of. Until you become a Buddha, let me retract that, okay? Because that's incorrect. Because what he did is manifested. He pretended to be confused, to be exact. When you become a Buddha, you are no longer confused. Okay? You cannot catch me there, Ken. Okay. Once you become a Buddha, it's no more confusion. No matter where you go, no matter what you do. But until you become a Buddha, even Bodhisattvas, when they're born, they become confused. And they have to cultivate to remove the confusion. But what turns out is that once you become enlightened, that sets up a high water level mark. So every single lifetime, you can always reach that again if you encounter a good known advisor. Pretty easy. Why is that? What's the rationale behind that?
It's already in your consciousness.
It is in your consciousness. Yes. Very good. What else?
You're driven by vows, not by your karmas.
By vows. Yes. What else? I tell you something really, really concrete for you. It's your wealth.
Your will?
True wealth. True wealth. Not the money you have right now in your bank account. Not the car you drive. Not the house you live in. It's your wealth is right there forever and ever and ever.
You talk about the merit and virtue.
Yes. Once you become enlightened, it is forever. The wealth is there for you forever. Isn't that exciting? That's true wealth right there. This lifetime, your wealth, you have to earn it. You have to slave for it. You have to sweat for it. Right? That wealth right there is there for you forever. You can access anyhow. It's not dependent on
Materialism.
It's not as dependent on you as you think. Isn't that cool? This is why we cultivate. Because it's permanent.
That's how we do that, is by cultivation.
That's why you have to decide for yourself. You devote how much energy, how much time in your life doing the mundane thing or cultivation. You have to strike a balance. The mundane thing is only temporary. It's subject to cause and conditions. The enlightenment is yours forever. So what are you after? You have to decide for yourself. Okay?
So minor question. So let's say the Bodhisattva is born, but he's confused. So the inner cat back to his a conscious. So that area of confusion, how that person that will be sort of clear out the confusion.
That's what he's referring to the vows. See what happens? This is where the finer aspects of cultivation is about. The Bodhisattva, after he or she becomes enlightened, okay? No confusion there. But then he or she realizes that the prior commitment. They said, okay, I have to go back and take care of my mother. I have to go back and take care of my father, who would not happen to be a donkey in Tibet. Okay? So they go back, somehow they find a way to be born and create cause conditions for them to go and approach the donkey and help the donkey. Maybe get a rebirth black for the donkey. That's all you can do. You see? Because of the prior vows that Randy referred to. That they allow themselves, they create a cause and conditions for themselves, even to be confused even. You see that, Randy? That's the beauty of Mahayana right here. If he comes back, he may be confused, but as long as he's there to create the cause and conditions to carry out his mission, that is done. You see that? That's his blessings. Does it make sense to you? What? You have to pay the price if you want to help someone, right? This Bodhisattva, he made a vow, let me go back, be confused, be stupid, make mistakes. I know when I make mistakes, since I'm not a Buddha yet, I still have to pay for my mistakes. He's willing to do that so that he can help. That's the vow paramita. Ever heard it explained like that before, huh, Randy?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Also, birthday, you can to go to Amitabh's land, Western land was one. He should also make the vow to return and to help other doing beings. You just stay there, hang out.
Randy, you can't help it. It's automatic. Once you become enlightened, this is the third reason why you want to defile land. See, I've been kind of skipping things, important things, to see who pays attention or who does. The third reason why you want to have a defiled land like a Saha world, in contrast to the Western Bliss Pureland, is because of very selfish reason. Right? Very, very selfish. Giving it them. If you live your life, RJ, and everything comes to you easy. You want money, that gives you money. You want a car, that gives you a car. You want a wife, that marries someone for you and gives you a house and so on. Okay? Right? So far so good, RJ? Beautiful life, isn't it? Perfect.
Not the wife part, but yeah.
No, fine, fine. Okay. Okay. How about a harem?
He'll take that.
Going the wrong way, but whatever.
Wrong way?
Yeah. You myself.
This guy is biased. Not even on Valentine's Day?
It's cool. Anyways.
I'm disappointed. Okay, so look at that kind of lifestyle. How much merit and virtue do you think you create?
Probably
Not more. In contrast, RJ, suppose Dad gives you nothing. Suppose Dad says, whatever money I give you, you owe me. You have to pay me back. And he doesn't seem to be that helpful, to be willing to lend a helping hand that often. He makes you earn everything, makes you work for everything. How much merit and virtue do you think you create with your life?
Hating? No, you're probably not using up any of me.
You're creating so much more merit and virtues for yourself. Got the drift? You go to the Pureland. Life is easy, cultivation easy. Therefore, the rate of creation of blessings for you in the Pure Land is much slower than in the defilement. Got that? You see, there's a trade-off. If you want security, then it comes slower. Am I making sense to you? No, high risk, high return. Basically. Right? You go to Pure Land, no more risk. Therefore, you for sure, you're on a slope. You're going to keep on increasing, going, making progress until you become a Buddha. But that takes a little bit longer. Whereas, when you reach the level where you become enlightened, and you say, okay, I think I know what I need to do now. I remove quite a bit of my confusion now. I have some people here, some prior commitments here I made already. So let me combine the two. Let me go back to the defiled land, healthy, at the same time, create more blessings for myself that I can bring back to the Pure Land and speed up my progress. This is why you need both. Có hiểu?
This is selfishness, right?
Selfishness. Smart. As if being the smart app. See, so this became the third reason why he gave you three reasons, right? That's the end of the three major reasons why you want both kind of land. What's the second reason? I forgot. See, my memory is so bad. I'm getting too old for this. What's the second reason? Huh? Say again? Anyone?
Second reason for
Having the Pure Land and the impure land.
Dude, how come back now?
That's number 3. Number 2, what's number 2?
Enlightenment. Enlightenment.
Ah, see? I'm so glad you're here today. Isn't that fascinating? See, Mahayana is very, very flexible. It is so malleable. It can accommodate all your needs. You don't need to go anywhere else, my dear. It is right here. Okay. Any final question? It's 3:30 now. We at the end of the section here, and we're beginning the new section where now the Buddha begins to emit lights. Okay, and I explain that in the next time. Okay. Any final questions? So I was telling them that the Earth Store Sutra is explained in the Dharma flower period, where because of that should tell you right away that the principles contained are very, very high, very profound. And yet, when you look at this Earth Store Sutra, it contains very, on the surface, very, very simplistic, very pragmatic. Sometimes it's considered to be a manual for Mahayana because it contains so many really easy recipes for you to follow. But you dig deeper, a little bit deeper, it really very profound principles. Okay? Any final questions? Again, I apologize for running over time. I know you're busy. You've been here since the morning, and for you to stay here this late, I really appreciate it. Okay? So next week, next week, we continue again, explaining, this thing. I know I spoke in Vietnamese to tell them that I have to end here because I know I'm really pushing it. And you've been very patient. I appreciate it. And we're gonna end here by doing the transfers. All right. Thank you. So if we do the Vietnamese transfer. All right. Nguyện đem công đức này trả nghĩa bao tình độ, thường báo từ trong ơn để tâm độ khổ nhường kiến thờ phá tâm ngô thần thứ nhất quang thân không sáng cơ là đồ. Thank you. Yeah.